EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of Bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium.
Two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Right to the air is Jackson.
Gets this one to Hill. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Now it's Jackson. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Two things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
Boy, the pursuit there, terrific from the linebacking core.
Oh, it certainly was, because so many times on an option play, you'll see a linebacker make a beeline for the quarterback and then zip, one cut, and he's grasping at air. But this time, he locked in on him the whole way, took an excellent angle, and his...
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Throwing to start the drive. Howard.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd and 1. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Running left, it's Warren.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Boswell's kick is good, and the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game.
Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Play action. Now Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
Throw caught by Flowers.
It'll go as a gain of 4. 3rd and 7 now.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Jackson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Here's Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. To throw is Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A first down carry for Henry.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Henry again on 2nd down. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 41. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
And he will have a Ravens first down, and he's going to have it by plenty, able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. A short throw caught by Andrews. Stops short of the 25, but that second effort got him a couple extra. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Jackson now. And incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Jackson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, here's the option. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Howard. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at about the 32. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Jackson.
That is caught, and he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson.
Going right back to DeAndre Hopkins.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down. Here's Jackson to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So nothing doing there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Jackson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
In motion left, Flowers.
Now it's Jackson.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
2nd and 10.
Jackson, options out left. Gets by him at the 25. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a 3rd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Opening carry of the game for Cordero Patterson.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd and 6. Now run straight ahead with Warren.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Howard now from the gun on 3rd down. Flushed out right. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I hadn't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
1st and 10, it's Patterson.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
A handoff for Warren.
And he's going to get this one down to the 45. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play. Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Jackson dancing to his left. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks a test.
The offense on 3rd down and tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First carry now for Justice Hill.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Jackson from the shotgun. Open man is Hill. He's got it.
So the completion gets him just a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Back to throw. Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. In motion left, Bateman. After the interception, here's Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews.
And the Ravens have taken the lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
And the Steelers set to take the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
He'll drop this underneath for Gainwell.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Looking to throw. Howard. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Ravens are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
The Steelers taking over now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a 1-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
That's complete to DK Metcalf.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Howard.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Back to throw again. He'll let it fly for Austin.
And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half. And we'll see how much they want to push things, leading already here 10-3.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's 2nd down.
Looking to throw. Howard. This one left side caught by Patterson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. And that's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
In motion left, Bateman.
They go play action with Jackson.
That's caught. It's Flowers.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the third quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
Henry out of the pistol. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
On the option right is Jackson. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
Warren will try the right side.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. In motion goes the tight end. Howard from the gun on 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And out across midfield down to the 45.
Well, we saw plenty of throws like this in Columbus last year. He's got his guys a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On the give, it's Warren.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Back to throw. Howard.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Tenth carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now Jackson. That is caught, and he will have a Ravens first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third quarterback, get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion, got the job done for a first down.
From the gun, it's Jackson.
He'll find Bateman once more.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 1. Flowers going to go in motion right.
Jackson. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 43. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll go with Hill here on first down.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw.
That one into the hands of Flowers.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Jackson. And it's incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. There they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. They'll send a tight end in motion right. Now it's Jackson.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Justice Hill taking it in. And the Ravens have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted. which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Looking to throw. Howard. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They go play action now. Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. Here's Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
From the gun, Jackson finds his man over the middle. It's likely.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Jackson now.
He finds Bateman over the middle. And he will have a Ravens first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Jackson from the shotgun. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Throw caught by Flowers.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
To throw again is Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. T.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And he returns this to the 22. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter.
Here's Howard throwing to start the drive. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Back to throw. Howard.
Finds Pickens outright.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but Certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll look to throw again.
That's DK Metcalf running the slant. He's got it.
And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
With the score where it is, this was probably going to be 4-down territory if they didn't convert there. But what a nice job of working his way open, making sure he secured the catch, and setting up 1st and goal.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And here's Freiermuth again.
And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. To throw is Howard. From the gun, he'll throw. Touchdown! DK Metcalf from 4 yards out.
And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Ravens ready to take over.
Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They go play action with Jackson. To the sideline and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Slot man moves right. Throwing is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
They'll try and choose some clock with Henry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 41-yard line. They only needed 1 yard on third down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down. Jackson to throw. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And that is how you do it, my friends. This will be spotted out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
So now the Steelers down by 10, 1:45 to play. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Now Howard
Throwing to start the drive.
Able to find Patterson. And they'll get this up to the 10, but that's all. A nice job there to bring him down defensively.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. If this offense can't get it done, they'll think back to just a few plays and say to themselves, this was a winnable game, and we let it get away. Still a chance to save it, but time's definitely running out.
Howard now from the gun on third down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
This one, an absolute must. It's 4th and 4.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He's got Pickens, complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
Kyle Hamilton picks it.
And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one.
So it's a win here for the Ravens, and it was just too much Lamar Jackson. He really played well.
Yeah, I thought this defense just didn't have an answer for him all game long. They tried to change things up, but he was always one step ahead. And he finished with over 300 yards passing and 2 touchdown passes as well.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.